Hello everyone and welcome to part 12 of this Let's Play series for Star Trek Online. My name is Winters. We left off, our last mission was Task Force Hypocrites, and before we actually move on to the next story mission, I am going to talk about one of the new systems that just opened up to us at level 11, and it is called the Duty Officer System. So as soon as you hit level 11, you will see here that it says first compliment. These are a list of duty officers that you can get. What we are actually going to do is we are going to head back to the Sol system, and we're going to pick these guys up, and I'm going to show you and explain the benefits of the duty officer system. So when you get to this stage, if you're a brand new player to the game or you are leveling up a new character, it will be completely up to you if you want to head back to Sol system when you hit level 11, or if you want to, do it like we'll say when you hit level 20 and you have to pick up a new starship. Since the system has just become available to us, I've decided to go back to Sol system, and we are going to beam down to Starfleet Academy. And here we are in Starfleet Academy, and we're in the 602 Club in the main building. This is building number 1, and this is where most of the stuff is here. We'll do a little walk around. Directly over here you have bank, mail, and exchange services. Over here, then we have the Tailor. Tailor is here. Now where we are going is into, I think it's building number 3. No, it's not building number 3. Maybe it's building number 2. Let's see, there's 3 and 4. No, that's 2. Alright, okay, I've got the numbers mixed up. Anyway, this is the building that we're going for. So we came out of there and we just took a right, and we're going northwest if you look at the mini-map. And we're going to go up to Lieutenant Fair, and we're going to get our first complement of duty officers. Now, duty officers basically, well, here, let's get them first. Sorry, Lieutenant Farah. So here they are. All you have to do is hit continue, and you get them. That's it, done. So, duty officers are like, I suppose you could say your crew on your ship. Not bridge officers. But basically you can send these bridge officers on missions, and the missions vary from like 30-minute missions to like 72-hour missions. If I click on duty officers up here, a full list of available duty officer missions becomes available, and you can see here the ones in red. If I actually mouse over the exclamation mark, it says you do not have a required duty officer. So we can see here we do have them, so we can do that mission. This one we cannot do, this one we cannot do. So it's pretty simple. This mission up here at the top, it says 1 of 10. That means it's part of an assignment chain, so there are 10 steps to that assignment chain. And when you complete that assignment chain, you will usually get a very good quality duty officer, or at least some form of a reward for completing the assignment chain. I currently know of a maximum, I think it's 32, it might be 33 assignment chains that are available in game, and they're very well worth doing. Now, every single duty officer mission, for the most part, we'll say like 98% of them, will always give you experience points, experience or expertise. It will give you a career type of XP or commendation XP, which I'll explain in a minute, and Dilithium. And the beauty about duty officers or duty officer missions is that you can be earning all these different, essentially, currencies, and you don't even have to be in game. So for example, this mission is a 6-hour mission. If I can only log in for 5 minutes, I can set up these duty officer missions and I can log out, and they continue working for me. I don't have to be logged into the game at all in any form. Once I have the mission started, they continue to work. So it can be a big help when leveling up, not to mention that it gets you, probably Dilithium is the biggest one. Now you may think that, you know, like 5 Dilithium for a 1 hour duty officer mission isn't much. Trust me, it adds up. On my main account, if I do duty officer missions on all of my characters, now granted I've got 29 of them, but if I do duty officer missions on every one of my characters just once a day, I end up with about 20,000 refined Dilithium per day from just doing duty officer missions. And I have also leveled up some characters solely by doing nothing else, only duty officer missions. So again, if you are finding it hard to get time in-game to level up a character, take advantage of the duty officer system and set up as many missions as you possibly can. Again, because as I said, these things work while you're not even in the game. So like that is a huge plus. So I'm going to set up a couple of them here. The next thing I'm going to talk about is this icon here. We can see in the display it's showing it as engineering experience, or XP. If I click on overview, there are 11 different types of commendation XP that you can get. Basically it's the type of mission. So is it a diplomatic mission, a science mission, engineering, military, exploration, espionage, medical, colonial, trade, development, or recruitment? And as you do duty officer missions, depending on the type of commendation XP that it gives back, these bars will fill up and increase in rank. There is a maximum of 4 ranks for each one of these, and at each rank level it usually gives you something. Like, for example, if I click on diplomatic here, there's an accolade, there's a title, and unlocks sorry, this is the one I'm looking for. It allows you to get a green quality duty officer. So there's 11 free green or uncommon quality duty officers simply for just leveling up your commendations. So these are known as commendations. And once I get 2,500 XP in any one of these, it'll go up to rank 1, and I can then get a free green or uncommon duty officer. At rank 2 I get another free green or uncommon duty officer. Rank 3 is a rare or blue quality duty officer, and rank 4 then is a very rare or purple quality duty officer. And that's a lot of free duty officers, or Doffs, that you get there for just simply doing duty officer missions. Now there is another thing that you can do. Once you've hit rank 4, which is 100,000 experience, you can continue to build up your experience up to a maximum of 150,000. And this is something that I'll show you later on once we get the system unlocked. But for every 10,000 experience you get over 100,000, alright, so follow me there, so that would mean 110,000 or 120 or whatever. You can turn that in and get free fleet marks. Those of you that have experience with the game know what fleet marks are. Those that don't, I'll explain that later on when the system becomes available to us, but I'll come back to that later. Let's see. Right, next thing is department heads. So I've clicked on duty officers up here. We're going to click on department heads, and we can click on assignments, and we find that there are actually some specialized assignments here that are available to us. Now I do not have any of the duty officers required to run this one, but if I go through some of the other ones like engineering here, for example, there I have this one, and you can see that gives a pretty decent amount. 426 engineering XP, gives 50 dilithium. And bear in mind, this is just for a normal success. If I crit, these rewards will jump up a lot. They will go up by a pretty significant amount. So I'm going to start that mission. Is there any more that I can do there? No. Okay, so we'll go on to operations. We'll find the next one we can do. Right, when you click on a mission, you can see up here possible outcomes. So you have a critical success, a success, or a failure. Sometimes there is a fourth possible outcome, which will be disaster in red. And if I look at this one, yeah, so there, if this one crits, instead of getting, let's say, 56 XP, we'll get 160. Instead of getting 6 experience, we'll get 19. Instead of 50 colonial XP, we'll get 122. A normal success, the values are still the same. If it fails, nothing happens. You cannot lose duty officer missions if you get a disaster or a failure. You will always have them. However, if you do get a disaster or a failure, you may get one or more duty officers that come back from the mission and they're injured, which simply means that you cannot use them for a specific period of time. It could be 8 hours, it could be 20 hours, for example. But once that time has elapsed, the duty officers become available again. So never fear that you are going to lose duty officers because the mission might fail, or you might get a disaster out of it. It doesn't cost you anything, really. Well, funny enough, this particular mission here, it also requires 5 provisions in order to do it. But really, it doesn't cost anything to run these duty officer missions. And I cannot stress enough how important it is to do them. It's just too good of a system to pass up. So I'm going to quickly see if I've got any more missions here available, and then I'm going to show you something else which is really good. A good little trick. Well, not a trick really, but a good habit to get into. Okay. So if we talk to the personnel officer here, and we click on submit request for personnel, we can run duty officer missions to get more duty officers, and that's what these missions are here. Now I'm going to stay away from general recruitment because it requires dilithium, and in my opinion the dilithium is not worth it for the few duty officers that you get. For me, dilithium is far more valuable, so I never run the general one. However, I will run the tactical, and I will run the engineering, and I will run the science, and I will run the civilian core, or the civil core. There is another one down here, request R&D assistance, but we are always going up to the R&D nodes to get R&D materials. So again, I don't feel the need to spend 1,000 dilithium to get a random amount of R&D materials. Now, some of them you get are pretty good, or can be pretty good, but I'm not going to do that. The next thing I'm going to show you is out here. So we've got military, engineering, science, and civilian. We just ran 4 different duty officer missions, and actually, let's see, how long were they? They're 48-hour missions. So in 48 hours, we will get a minimum of 2 duty officers back for each one of those. It may crit, and we may get a third one. Right here, we have a Tailorite and an Andorian. If we click on them, and click on, in this case, Tailorite Cultural Exchange, again, we can get free duty officers for just 20 hours. It doesn't cost anything to run the mission, but again, it's free duty officers. And you can do the same again for the Andorian, so you can do it for the Tailorite and the Andorian. And these particular missions are only 20 hours long. And there is actually one more I'm going to show you now. We just have to run down to the bottom of Starfleet Academy. There's the Golden Gate Bridge. Shuttles flying around. So down here, there is actually a Vulcan NPC that you can talk to, and you can do the very same thing. You can do a Vulcan cultural exchange, and again it takes 20 hours. And in 20 hours time you will have a brand new duty officer. Again, if it crits, you may get 2 or even more back from it as well. And I think that is it. Actually, there's one more thing I just remembered. If you are coming here, let's say every 3 days, because some of these missions, they have a 24-hour cooldown once they finish, before you can run them again. So we'll say every 3 days if you are coming here, and trust me, it's a good habit to get into. If you come up to this NPC, there is a very quick little mission that you can do called History 101 and History 102. And all you have to do is accept the missions, and one of them is simply interacting with this console here. So access the library computer, and we get this, we get a little bit of experience and a data chip. Mission complete. If I open up my inventory, I double click on it, I'm going to get an accolade. Path to 2409, Volume 25, Chapter 3. It's just part of the accolade system. Now if I come over here, I can test my knowledge. And, okay, Path to 2409, Volume 26, Chapter 5. Who was elected Federation President in 2405? I do actually not know the answer to this. However, I'm going to open up my internet browser whenever it decides to open up. There it is. And we're going to type in path to 2409 answers. Okay, we'll open up this one. This should be the correct one. Indeed it is. So it's probably a good idea to bookmark this page, STO Gamepedia /lore. And if I remember, that was Volume 26, wasn't it? Volume 26, Chapter 5. So we click on 26, Chapter 5. Who was elected Federation President in 2405? And there's our answer. And if I go back to the game, mission complete, and we go back to this NPC that gave us it, and there's 480 dilithium for what, 20 seconds of work? Nice and handy if you're coming. You can do this every day if you want to, but if you're coming here every 3 days for the duty officers, you can do that at the same time. You know, for 20 seconds, again, it makes a big difference. And that is one of the, I suppose I would say, top tips that I can give you is come here every day, or at the very least every 3 days, and do these missions that I've just shown you how to do. Funny enough, actually, here's something else for accolade hunters. If you run around not ESD, Starfleet Academy, you will notice a number of these plaques are glowing, and all you have to do is interact with them. And when you have them all got, or you know, you've interacted with all of them, you will actually get an accolade for it as well. I think there's something like, we'll say between half a dozen and a dozen scattered around Starfleet Academy. So yeah, alright, that's an introduction into the duty officer system and some tips on acquiring more, and a nice little daily for you as well to get 480 dilithium for 20 seconds work. So I guess we'll leave it there for now. Our next episode is going to be playing, what mission was it? Let's back up here. Skirmish, is this? Yeah, it is. We're going out to Skirmish. Okay. So yeah, next time we're going to be doing Skirmish. As always, leave a comment if you have any questions or anything like that. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support is very much appreciated. My name is Winters, and I will catch you next time. Until then, adios.